God, you're absolutely right, though. Baseball is such a long season. And you're right. They went through that, what?
It is long.
It's so true because our narratives changed.
I'm like, they changed
5 times. They're like, oh, Pujols, they never should have signed him.
Well, he was ridiculous.
He can't hit righties. This is all nostalgia. And now he has your 3rd highest OPS on the team behind 2 dudes who are going to be in the top 10 of the MVP, and Goldie's most likely going to win. I know he's destroying lefties, but overall now, Albert Pujols, his OPS is 3rd best on the team, and he's been absolutely crushing it since the All-Star.
Damn, dude. And but you're right. Like, remember a couple months ago, we're like, what now? Like, okay, like he's coming out again, trotting him out there again, and he was swinging and missing, and he just didn't have it. And now he does. Now you're like, oh, okay. But it's a long season. And it's going to probably have another little stretch where he's going to be off. But actually now I think, we got 50 games left, you say? He's got 10 more to get?
Just under 50.
Now you look at it, we're like, no way in hell. But now you kind of look at it like, I don't know. Right, Charlie? What do you think? They're beating up on some crappy-ass teams. He's got his confidence. Do you think he's going to hit 700?
So they are 66 and 51, so that's 117 games, meaning you got what, exactly 45?
45.
To hit 10, that's tough.
Is that tough? Yeah.
Well, it's tough also when you're not going to be playing every single day. I do think they're using him perfectly. He's still destroying lefties, but he's hitting righties better, but they're really matching him up perfectly.
Yeah. Who's the manager of who they just played yesterday? Colorado.
Buddy Black.
And so who was the kid that pitched to Pujols? Gomber. God, I'm sorry.
He was a Cardinal.
Hey, ask questions.
Yeah.
He went in the Arenado trade.
That's right. But then the manager comes up to him and talks to him. He's like, well, what do I do? He's like, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. Throw the ball, try to strike him out. Well, that didn't work. Sharon chimes in. Hey, girl. There's some devil magic happening right now down at Busch. Good stuff. Happy Friday. Bye, Sharon and Glencoe. Devil magic. Yeah. Cool. I don't know if you want devil magic, though.
Well,
what about Jesus magic?
That was the term coined by, was it Jonah Carey back in the day? It was in like the 11, 12, 13, 14 when the Cardinals were just destroying everybody.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He called it Cardinals devil magic. That became a thing. And then he got in his own off the field
What'd he do?
Issue with some domestic violence.
Oh, domestic violence. Okay. Can you imagine if Albert never left and stayed a Cardinal? Holy moly, how many World Series would we be in? Wish he would have stayed. Angels made the playoffs 1 game while he was there. What a waste, Johnny in the Berg.
I think the saddest part about Pujols going to Los Angeles was the way that he changed his approach at the plate. I mean, Pujols was such a great hitter in St. Louis, and when he went out to Los Angeles, he completely changed to this slugger, trying to hit a home run every time he's at the dish.
Oh, really?
And Mark DeRosa, who I think is a terrific personality on Major League Baseball's network, he went through and kind of looked at Albert's swing through the years and his ability to use that lower half to turn on a baseball.
Yeah.
And the plantar fasciitis that he's dealt with pretty much his entire career, you could see probably flaring at times in Los Angeles where he just couldn't get that back, his weight to shift on that back foot.
Yeah.
But, man, you see at this point, and the reason why DeRosa broke down why he's being able to hit lefties, because you get that split second of additional time where you can see that ball. And,
why
he
is
did
that?
this breakdown.
Just because of the way you're a lefty, you could see it come out of his hand a lot better as a...
Just a split second longer. And when you're as prolific as a hitter as Albert Pujols, if you get a split second in any way and you can sort of sit dead red, I mean, that's what he's doing. He's turning on these pitches. He's hitting these balls with backspin that he used to do against right-handers, too, and that's why he
does look different.
Bombs.
He looks different at the plate than he did 2 months ago. Like, he just does. Like, I don't know what it is, but he looks different. He looks more athletic.
Well, also, when you look at Albert Pujols, when he was unbelievable early and winning all the MVPs and that first 11 years, which are right up there with any player in the history of baseball, when you heard other baseball players, I remember Matt Holliday talked about this all the time. One reason that other baseball players just would look at Pujols and couldn't believe how amazing he was is he did all that with no stride. So he basically was flat-footed.
What do you mean no stride?
Well, a lot of baseball players really have an aggressive, you call it a load or a weight shift. Like, look at Josh Donaldson. You see these guys who have these huge leg kicks. Holiday had that.
Yeah.
Holiday is going to bring his leg back and really transfer the weight back and then bring it to the pitch. And that can also mess up your timing, though. But Albert Pujols, when he was amazing, he was pretty flat-footed.
Yeah.
He didn't have that aggressive leg kick. Well, now he's 42, and you do have to generate power a little differently. Watch him now. He's got a nice little leg kick there. So I think also as you get older, your bat speed slows a little bit. You have to do things differently. But as Nate said, if you're a righty in the batter's box facing a lefty, you can see the whole arm swing and the plane of the ball from a lefty, whereas if it's a righty-righty matchup or a lefty-lefty, you're just able to hide the ball. You're able to hide the ball a little bit more deception, and as a batter, you don't see it as well.
Wow. Interesting.
And at some point, that lefty's gonna have to challenge him.
Yeah.
And especially with the bases loaded, where are you got to throw him a strike.
Yep. Damn, man.
Tonight, the Cardinals play Tommy Henry, lefty. Tomorrow, Madison Bumgarner, lefty.
Oh, lefty.
And then
lefty's out the wazoo.
To the Cubs. We go to Wrigley for 5 games.
Damn, dude.
So he has a legitimate shot. Honestly, if he can, between now and a week from today, if he can get another 4 home runs, I know it's a long shot, but if he does that, I mean, he's got a legitimate shot. He's going to go into September with needing 6 or 7 home runs.
Dude, at the end of the day,
I'm not counting them out.
If I'm not counting,
No,
I
I'm
would
not
never
counting
say
them out,
that
dude.
a great Hall of Fame athlete couldn't do something that no one else can. I mean, I don't care how old they are. You never say never.
And the Cardinals are always like, we're spoiled here. Like, there's always something cool that happens with this team. And so, like, it just wouldn't surprise me if Pujols, they go on this badass run. They do some damage in the playoffs. Pujols does his thing. Like, this wouldn't surprise me. Cardinals always, I feel like they always bring something to the table, when it comes to this stuff.
And no matter what happens in the playoffs, I can't think of a better ending to a career, though, for what Albert Pujols is doing right now with the Cardinals, coming back to where it started. Because I do think one of the unfortunate things about the Angels, and Nate brought this up too, but like, I think baseball, and if you're a baseball fan, if you're a kid and you just became a baseball fan and you watched the last 10 years, you didn't hear a lot about Albert Pujols. Because he really fell off also. I mean, he went from the greatest player we've ever seen. There was quite a drop-off, especially the second half of his time with the Angels. And even though he's older, I think if you're a kid and you're just getting into baseball and you're starting to read this story, and then you look up and you see this man's numbers for the first 11 years, you're going, oh my God, this dude was one of the best players we've ever seen for a decade. And I think people are appreciating Albert Pujols once again, as they should, because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But my dad will text me after he hits a home run. The other day, Albert hit 2 home runs. I mean, you have baseball fans now that are getting to appreciate the greatness of this man once again.
I know. I went to a game. Hell.
And
he sucked me in.
I don't know what his charitable impact was in Los Angeles. I'm sure the Pujols 5 Foundation was vibrant in Los Angeles, but I would call it I would say that when it was here, it was beyond vibrant.
The biggest thing going.
Well, it
it's
just had
unbelievable.
its impact on the community was really felt.
Yeah.
And it had shockwaves throughout. And so what you're able to do, and that's unique, I feel like, to St. Louis as opposed to Southern California. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of perks about Southern California, but you can really feel, I mean, Albert Pujols was the king.
He's king, dude.
He's
the biggest king
here.
ever. Like, he's the biggest king.
Right.
Like, 100%. Like, he's top 3 biggest celebrities, players ever in St. Louis history. Right?
Who we got? Stan, Albert, Brett.
Hawley's got to be up there, though. I'm sorry. Like, Brett Hall changed the city around, dude. Like, he got me. That blonde-haired mullet, that got me. I mean, kid from Eureka, don't know anything about hockey, and I'm watching this guy. I had no idea. I'm like, what is this?
I would say we should have a Mount Rushmore, but Jalen Rose
can't do it.
Might have a
We
problem.
can't do that. Jeez Louise. Come on now. God. No, seriously, though. Albert, Stan,
Gibby.
I'm telling you, Hawley's got to be up in that mug. got to. He changed the way. I mean, like, he got all of us into hockey. Now kids are flying out of here making $100 million. That's got to have some impact on something.
Well, then I would probably, if we had to put Holy in there, I might leave Albert off.
Oh, really?
Well, dude, Bob Gibson changed the game.
Okay.
He literally had a year in which they changed the rules of pitching.
Because he was crushing dudes?
Oh, he was literally, guys couldn't hit him.
That's what I mean. I meant that in that way.
Yeah.
You know? My baseball lingo is not up to par yet, but it's getting better. It's getting better.
You're doing fine.
I feel more comfortable talking. I'm watching the games.
The other thing with Albert is, which is why it's so great he's coming back to the Cardinals, is when you leave for half your career, it is different. And now I know Brett Hull also left, but Gibby was here for a long time.
Yeah.
A long, long time.
Do we got our boy on?
Randy.
Hi, Randy. Hi.
Hey, how's you guys doing? How you doing on the weekend there? You got everything set up for the weekend?
Yeah, I walk outside and go on the course and I drink beer.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, let me ask you a question there. Do you remember a guy named Perry Turnbull?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s?
Damn right. It's my boy.
Right. He was sort of like the Brett Hull. He had the golden locks, and the girls would freak out and throw their panties at him during the game. You ever see that?
Perry.
Just like you throw the octopus on the Detroit, they used to throw the panties on when Turnbull would score a hat trick.
Really?
At the pick up the pan. I'm serious. Look it up. Yeah.
Look it up.
But anyway, let me ask you a question there. On your Mount Rushmore there, what about Kurt Warner? Wouldn't he be a Mount Rushmore?
Oh, Randy. Damn.
I mean, Kurt Warner's a Hall of Famer, pillar of the community. All these good things. You never hear him getting busted for throwing a girl around or whatever. I don't know.
No, he ain't doing.
Anyway,
he ain't doing that.
I don't want to smear. I don't want to say it, but let me ask you a question. As far as the TV announcers and radio, I think Dan McLaughlin should be the official announcer when they go to the World Series or playoffs. I just can't stand it. It's the guy that guy drives me crazy. Who's that guy that says that? Mike, what's the guy's name?
Who are we talking about?
Baseball?
The radio broadcaster on the Cardinals. What is the guy's
Claiborne?
name?
Don't be shaming John Rooney. What is
John
this?
Rooney.
Where we at?
No, I'm just saying that Dan McLaughlin, as soon as that bat, as soon as a home run, he's just like explosive. He's got so much energy. I just love the way Dan McLaughlin, announces.
He's good, man.
I don't know. I think he should be the official. Are they going to be going to this play like the TV guy goes to radio goes to TV guy? Are they going to be doing that for the playoffs? And Charlie Merlo, why don't you go for this Cardinal position? I think you're a good announcer with Toledo Valley. Thanks.
Oh.
With Toledo Valley. Is there an open position?
I don't know.
Where we at? Let's go.
First of all, the radio broadcast, that continues throughout the postseason.
Hey, somebody did ask about home runs counting in the postseason. I'm guessing no, just like goals. Yeah, okay.
Danny Mac is going to do a little radio during the postseason.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Good, he should.
Yep. It's kind of what Curbs and John Kelly had set up.
Yeah,
John
Kirby
Kelly
hooked him up.
Mm-hmm.
And as you should. Curb's good about that stuff, man. He got a bunch of guys on there. And John went and did the second period in the Stanley Cup, Game 7. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
he did.
Second period.
Yep. Game 7. Pretty cool stuff. But Brony chimes in. If Joaquin Buckley isn't on the show soon, I'm going to pick him up and take him to the station myself. But Brony, do it. Give me his damn number. I'll call him. Or give him my number. I don't give a damn. Who cares?
He DMs me all the time about Joaquin Buckley. We'll get him on.
We'll get him on. But you got to give me his number. I text you. If you know the guy, give him my damn number. I don't care. Everybody's got my number in this town. Gives a damn. Translucent powdered down at. Guys, Kurt Warner on that list. Hall, Warner, Pujols, Musial, Ozzie.
How long was Kurt Warner here?
Yeah, but he won,
About
dude.
5 years. No, I know.
He won.
But we're talking, look, it's not easy to get on a Mount Rushmore, a 3 or 4. I mean, you have to really be the creme de la creme in a sports town that's had teams for 100 years that have won a lot.
So you do 2 Cardinals, 1 Blue, and 1 Rammy. And it's Hawley, it's Kurt, and who are the 2 Cardinals? It's going to be.
Wait.
What?
I don't know if Hawley can be up there because he didn't even win a.
He changed the landscape of the city.
I would say Pat Maroon changed the landscape of the city.
Cam Jansen
I mean,
changed the landscape of the city.
somebody had to make it before everybody else.
Pat
Or how about
LaFontaine.
Jordan Bennington.
Oh, get out of here, dude. I don't get what I'm telling you. All these guys started playing hockey in this town because of Brett Hall. And now look at the hockey in this town is gigantic. Kids are everywhere playing. They're getting drafted in the first round. Holy had such an impact. It's hard to. It didn't impact you because you didn't get into it.
No, that's not true. I am
telling you.
That's what made me a hockey fan was Brett Hall.
Yeah, but you were young though.
When he came to St. Louis?
Yeah, you were pretty.
That was in the 90s.
When's your birth year again?
1990. I was a whole.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
I saw the Brett Hall.
You got
years. I'm not even discounting his impact on St. Louis hockey, but in terms of, impact on winning championships.
I get you on that. He didn't win, but again, if you want to tie it all together, like he just his footprint on this town is bigger than a lot of guys. Like it truly, truly is. You can't ignore that. Brett Hall, 86 goals with that mullet. He's at McDonald's. I got all the McDonald's stuff. I had my dad go around McDonald's 15 times so I get all his things. I was psychotic. God almighty, that guy he did it, dude.
Here's a good example.
Yeah.
Now maybe it's actually not a good example.
Okay.
But see, I don't think you have to win a championship to have an impact, and that's where I agree with you.
Yeah.
If you change the city's perspective on hockey, that's an impact. You have all the kids. You have the 5 kids drafted in the first round. That's all because of Brett Hull.
Yep.
They finally win the cup 50 years later after the team is founded. I look at it in a way, not a perfect analogy, but look at the Fab Five. The Fab Five never won
What do you mean by
a
that?
championship.
Fab Five?
But they changed the game. The Fab Five, Michigan basketball, early 90s. Yeah. They changed the game, but they never won a championship. So they're remembered in a way
I get you.
more so than championship teams because of just their image.
What'd they do?
Charlie is right.
Because they had the black socks, they had the baggy shorts, they were against the NCAA, they were dunking, they were brash.
Nice.
Well, then in that sense, I guess, we'd have to have an honorary spot for Jack Flaherty.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, he's really changed the landscape of social justice, and he's a warrior out there.
He's getting rid of racism, that guy. What's his latest on him? Are we going to see this dude coming back? Like, what's his
I don't
deal?
know.
What's his deal? I
He'll
want
be
him to
back.
come back.
He's coming.
He's coming back.
And
Nate's going to be ready.
He's got his swag back on the mound, man.
Does he?
That's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's not?
I don't know. I want him to throw strikes.
I'll
I don't
tell
care
you
how
what,
much
man.
swag you got out there showing people grabbing your
pitch.
junk. Go pitch.
Go pitch.
Yeah. And when things don't go right, don't cry
Don't
and be
bitch.
a baby out there.
I agree with that, dude.
Yeah. I don't even think it's that. It's not. That's what you need to see.
Yeah, I know. Like, just smile once in a while.
Yeah.
I like happy people. I hate when people take themselves too seriously. I truly do. Just like Tommy Pham pissed me. He's just 24-hour tough guy. Like, settle down. Settle down. No one wants that in the locker room. They don't. Trust me.
I get pitching with emotion, and I understand confidence parlays into success, but at the same time, dude, you're striking out. You're dominating AA hitters. Congrats.
I know. Come up here and do your thing. If you want to get a little swag, but you don't have earn your swag. Just letting all y'all know.
I'm telling you, when Jack Flaherty's pumping 97 in the playoffs, you guys are all, oh, yeah. Jack
Oh, yeah, I
Flaherty.
will.
I'll enjoy it, yeah.
Remember, we did
Well, that's
this.
how it goes.
We did this 2 years ago. Now, last year, in the wild card game, you only had one game. But remember 2 years ago? Everybody's like, oh, should Jack get a start in the playoffs?
Yeah.
They had the weird COVID. It was against the Padres. Oh, should he get a start? He's been banged up. He hasn't been very good. What happened in that game? I don't
remember.
I have no idea.
I believe he had 8 strikeouts.
He did really well, but we lost, right?
Well,
We
yeah.
didn't get any run support.
But here's the deal. In the playoffs, you need swing and miss stuff. And as good as a lot of these guys are, in the playoffs, it helps if you have somebody who on any given day can strike out double digits. And for the Cardinals starting rotation, he's the only one that can do that. And by the way, they're going to face a bunch of dudes that can do that, like a DeGrom, like a Scherzer, like a Corbin Burns. And in the playoffs, that plays.
I get you, Charlie. I get you, buddy. If you're talking impact, you have to mention Kurt Flood. Dude, it is literally the reason baseball has free agency.
It's true.
What do you do?
He protested. He sat
MLPA?
out. Yeah, because
Oh,
they
okay.
weren't at that point. That was prior to players being granted free agency.
Oh, wow.
So he pretty much
He's a Ted Williams, or no?
pioneer.
For all sports, by the way. Every athlete that's making millions right now should look to Kurt Flood, and he basically paved the way because he gave up the rest of his career because he wanted to be able to pick where he could play.
Yeah. There's a dude in hockey that did that too, and I keep blanking on his name. He started the NHLPA, and they hated him for it. I forgot his name. God almighty, my memory is so good. It's so good. He built a stadium, and it has a statue out front. The house that Hall built. Not even a debate. Take that and like it. Take that and like it. They're coming in. It's Hall and no one even close. Without Hall, the team would have left. His impact surpassed championships.
Sharon.
My brother used to go steal things of Coke out of Holy's garage. Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay. What do you do?
He used to go steal cases of Coca-Cola. All the neighborhood boys would run over there and steal Holy's Coca-Cola.
Well, that's not very nice.
I think.
Were you in the same neighborhood as him?
Yeah, he lived over in.
And right there in Leduc, that's where you live?
No, this is when he was first.
Oh, okay.
Entry level contract.
Okay.
Entry level.
I was gonna say because I've been to his house in Ledoux.
No.
And I'm like, you're neighbors with him? He's got like 3 acres in Ledoux.
By the way, Jack Flaherty in that 2020 game, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 8 punch-outs in his postseason career, 3.52 ERA, 30 strikeouts in 23
Flaherty?
innings.
We'll just do it again.
And one big giant fist for BLM Inc.
Yes, right. Mm-hmm. Just come here and pitch. That's all. That's all I'm saying,
right.
baby. I'll do that for you. Like I'll cheer you on. Just smile once in a while, baby. That's all. Rob Dibble. Maybe kids in this town are playing hockey because they saw a plug from Eureka that could make a living at it. Hey, you could joke all you want about that, but like if I could do it, without having any hockey experience at all, no help at all from any, anybody can. Now, I was piss pumping cats, like, let's be honest here, okay? But it's there for you.
No, I would not
there for you.
downplay your impact
It's
on
there.
being part of the growth of the game in this town.
Let's see. Jackie chimes in and goes, Cam, just read off Hall's point total. Cam, just read off Hall's point totals from when he was on the Blues. It's mind-blowing, the numbers he put up. He single-handedly was selling out games and setting the town on fire. Telling you, man. 86 goals. He's got the look. Then you got the 2 big boys next to him beating the hell out of everybody. Like, what? Yeah, I'm going to Blues games. Kidding? Randy is correct. John Rooney's a bit annoying, comes off nerdy. I don't need a description of the Cardinal uniform every game. Burley. Is that what he does? Oh,
I'm not a
coming in.
broadcaster hater.
Part of the radio. That's
You like Rooney, you say?
yeah.
Okay, he's
John
cool.
Rooney is as professional
right.
and probably as good as you're gonna get.
Oh, Charlie doesn't like him. Why?
What are you talking about?
Wait, you do like him?
I said I'm not a broadcaster hater.
Well, didn't you just put your thumb down?
I did not.
What do you care?
What I'm saying
Somebody
is,
listen?
look, if I
Is
like
Rooney
a
listening?
broadcaster, then I pump him up. I'm not this person that goes, I hate this broadcaster. This person's terrible. That's just not my game. Like everybody rips on Jim Edmonds. I think he's funny. I think it's funny when Jim Edmonds says kind of awkward things on the broadcast, and everybody on Twitter goes crazy. To me, it's funny.
Good for us. It's good for. I get that.
John Rooney, after my little hiccup, he reminded me, boy, son, you have a big league voice and a 10-cent effing brain.
Oh,
He said that to your
he
face?
said that to you.
But I worked, I know
Did you work
John
with
pretty
him?
well. Yeah.
Where?
When I was the booth assistant for Mike and John.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
and
right.
then I was the engineer for Live at Shannon's for like 3 years.
Damn, you've worked everywhere, dude. You've been in the
Little bit
game a
everywhere.
long time, man.
Hey, did he also come up to you and go, "You're a goner, a goner"?
So he came up and talked to you about that? That's nice, man. I didn't have anybody talk to me about when I put myself in a jam. Everybody ignored me except for Andy. So that's kind of nice.
Now, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I just looked this up. I came and covered your event. It was 2012, correct?
Yeah.
I was Googling pictures, and I was there. I wasn't there for the game. I was there for the skate beforehand where you guys were doing a bunch of media stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody was practicing. It was 2012, and I was searching for something randomly yesterday, and I saw that picture on Twitter.
Well, at that point, I was okay.
So I was there for you.
Where were you 2 months before that when I was like crying in a fetal position?
I'm not going to lie to you,
Snorting
but hold on.
painkillers.
Don't you think that was larger in the hockey world than it was in the St. Louis media sports world?
Yes.
Because I don't even remember covering that?
I know it made like Sports Illustrated, of course. They're gonna put that in there. Again, but that's how it goes. Like, because the people that know you, and then the outside world's like, whoa. So yeah, it blew up pretty good, man. It was tough.
But wasn't it also on a show that was it a podcast?
It was Tom and Jeff Burton, and Jeff Burton was my first podcast ever. And Jeff Burton's like, I can't make it. He's hung. So it was Tom, and Tom was asking me the stupidest questions.
Who's Tom?
Tom West. He died too. A little while back, and he just asked me all these, and he clips it off, and he kind of screwed me a little bit. Although I messed up too, but he set me up to fail there, which is like I was comfortable. I don't know. It wasn't good. But
and
it's
then
a
he
smack in the
clipped off.
face.
So
Yeah.
he clipped off knowing that was going to go viral.
Yep. I called him and oh God, I lost it. I go, all the stuff I give you, like you gotta clip that off like that. It's my fault, man. It's always you gotta look in the mirror and everything, always. But he did piss me off, big time. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was really, really mad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Catch my drift.
I'm big on personal responsibility, but with your podcast, you say, look, if somebody says something,
we will not even do.
And they come back and say, hey,
trust me.
Can you delete that? And some journalists might say you shouldn't do that, and I actually understand that argument as well.
It depends on a podcast that they're coming on. Like it's different. Like I'm not playing. I don't know. It is a little different. And people come to Andy and I all the time say, hey, can you cut that? We're hell yeah, we'll cut. And sometimes they don't say it, and we listen to it. And we're like, I'm going to cut that out anyway. Trust me. A couple guys, I had to cut out a lot of stuff.
Well, over the years, several times.
When I was out at Twister's house, I had to cut out a lot of stuff.
I bet. But over the years, several times, I had done interviews, and the person they might start as a taped interview, obviously.
Yeah.
They might start their thought, and they'll just right 20 seconds in, just go, "Hey, can we start over?" You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to get their thought out. It's not coming out right. I mean that happened probably 100 times.
Yeah.
Where they'll say, "Hey, let me start over. I didn't like the way I said that, or it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I'd like to say it differently." That happens all the time.
Yeah. And you should give them the benefit of the doubt on that.
Even if it's not controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just because in some cases these people know you're only going to use one 20 to 30 second soundbite, and they want to concisely get their message out as best possible.
Now, Andy and I will get these guys on, and there's reasons why we get guys on too, so they could talk about a certain thing that happened. And sometimes we'll call them like, well, can we not talk about that? And we're like, no, well, we got to ask you about that. Or what are you doing then? And so they're like, okay. And then Andy will get them going and be happy that, and Andy will start kind of getting in there a little bit. And then finally they answer the question, and it actually makes them look better. Now everybody knows what happened instead of just hiding it. Talk about it.
Test.
And it's you know this. You can't have a controversial dude on the podcast and not ask the controversial question.
Exactly.
You can't. You can't do that. There's no point of doing the podcast or the interview. If we had somebody on who just made headlines for something negative, and then you have that person on the next day on the radio, and if you don't address that, we'll all look like fools. And I'm not saying people respect us now, but they really won't respect us after that.
Listen.
From where we headed, where we going?
No, they respect. If they come on, they respect you, man. Like we're getting owners and stuff on that don't do a damn thing. So they hear about it. They do their due diligence. So can we? No, they're good. They're big, and they'll do this. But I'll give you an example, though. We had Dougie Gilmore on. Hall of Famer. He's got so much you could talk to him about, and he did specifically say, guys, I don't want to talk about what that happened here. And so we didn't talk about that. But we don't need to with him. That happened 35, 50 years ago, whatever it was. You could talk to him about a billion different things. You don't need to bring up that incident. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So,
had he addressed it before?
Not in a long time. He doesn't do podcasts. We got him on. He doesn't. Did you ever see him do anything? He doesn't do it. That's why it was a big one for us to get him on.
What does he say off the record?
Dougie?
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him in a while. He was friends with my trainer, Rick Wilson. He's awesome. Rick loved him. Dougie Gilmore, baby. He walks around on water up in Toronto, I'll tell you that right now. Piggybacking off what Randy said, who's the worst broadcaster for the Cardinals? My opinion, it's Edmonds, not the best color man. The one I like a lot, Brad Thompson, Gio. I like Thompson, man. He's a good dude. He's funny, smart, very smart guy.
I've said this a million times. If I'm watching a game, I want to be entertained. I don't need all the stats. I love baseball anyway. I look up the stats myself. I want to laugh. And in my opinion, Thompson and Jimmy Ballgame, they're more entertaining
Yeah.
They make the broadcast. And baseball needs that. Baseball is
man.
3 hours.
You're right.
There's a ton of time in between. There's games that end up being 10-1 and 13-zip. Look at the game yesterday. As awesome as it was over in the third inning.
Yeah, I know.
So it was great. Great moments. Don't get me wrong. When Albert hits a granny, that's a baseball moment you got to talk about. How about the next 5 innings when it's 13-zip? That's when I want Danny Mac and Brad Thompson, or if it's Jimmy Ballgame, to try to make me laugh, to watch a game that otherwise I really shouldn't watch. When it's 13-zip in the 7th inning, there's no reason to watch the game other than the broadcasters keeping you entertained.
Or somebody getting pelted by a pitch because they're cocky or something.
I think there's a fine line. I think some of the goofiness that comes about is a little over the top. But I think some people are just naturally funny, and that's why I sort of miss Tim McCarver on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Because he could tell some stories, and then that would get Danny going, and they would kind of go back and forth reminiscing on certain stories and players, and Danny knows how to kind of poke holes through a story to get to some of the more truth nuggets that are back there that he didn't really want to bring out.
Yeah.
And, that's fun because then you get sort of almost a Live at Shannon's-esque broadcast where you're getting stories.
I think towards the end with McCarver, though, some of his stories, the one that I really remember at Wrigley, and we could probably find this, where he said that the birds knew what inning it was. Do you remember that?
No.
It was a couple years back where he said the birds in a day game, they would know what inning it was. And Danny Mac said, well, but baseball games, a game could last 2.5 hours. It could last 4 hours. McCarver was essentially saying that the birds would come at a certain time because they knew that after the game, there's probably a lot of food and whatnot in the stands.
Yeah.
But then Danny Mac was like, yeah, but they wouldn't know the inning because 3:30 could be the 5th inning on a Tuesday, and it could be the 8th inning on a Thursday. And it was a really funny
two-dimensional,
exchange.
too.
Well, it was really funny as Tim McCarver tried to explain that he thought birds knew what inning it was in a baseball game.
But you got the gist of what he was saying.
Yeah, that's...
It was really
it's
fun.
It's hard for me to chirp anybody when I'm telling, but, we're doing AM radio. He's in a big dog seat. You go down a weird rabbit hole like that, you got to kind of make sense once in a while.
I also think hearing Bob Costas call a baseball game with Jimmy Cott enjoy that while you got it. Because I don't know how much longer.
BT is the best, super funny and smart. Edmund's still trying to make it all about him, like he still plays. He's the worst. He even stole Brad's shtick when he segues to a segment with the cat. Go away, dirtbag. Wow.
To Jim Edmonds?
Sharon, dang girl, what's up?
People have turned on Jimmy Ballgame.
Well, there's always a reason for things, man. I don't know.
He makes me laugh. I
don't know if he makes me laugh.
I think he and Danny have a really good dynamic.
It's hard to make me laugh. When Andy sings, it makes me laugh. When people are trying to be too funny, I'm like, I don't know. I'm weird about that stuff. But I will say this, and somebody just chimed in too. I learn stuff from Jimmy every damn time I watch the game. I really do. He said something, I'm like, I didn't know that. Didn't laugh, but I learned something. So at least there's something there.
No doubt.
Yeah, I learn a lot from him, dude. I really do.
Well, that's why also, and I know at the last couple of years, you had Mike Shannon there. But Shannon, and I only got to listen to, since 2008, but Shannon cracked me up. That's why I loved listening to the games on the radio, because of the storytelling, because just the way he spoke, the folksy nature of it. He would say things he probably shouldn't, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, I like that.